was gonna see if you guys wanted to help me with, because I have these little 4 jars.
Morning guys, welcome to Back Right in the Grays. I am not at home. I am actually out in the Valley of Oregon at Crowley House Flower Farm, and we are helping her pick some bouquets for the farmers market this morning. We helped a little bit last night as well with some orders, and it has just been a treat to be out here. It is absolutely beautiful. So the next few clips are just going to be of my trip I'm taking with my friend Esther over at Esthers Eden, and we are just hitting up some other creators around the valley here. So I hope you enjoy the next clips of us, our little adventure, I suppose. Can you even? All these roses, and they're about to take all these out, so they're doing a new project, which is going to be exciting, but we are thoroughly enjoying these because it would take forever for us to get something like this in Central Oregon.
No wonder your pictures all over social media look at that. Like, how can it?
I know. Well, this morning there was just like a light layer of fog rolling across these fields.
So
the sun's coming up, and I'm like, that's a Mr. Darcy morning for sure.
Oh, it is. So cue the music.
Yeah, cue the music, please. No, and then when the sun hits it, it's just like,
oh yeah,
you know, incredible smells and like all the roses.
It's so gorgeous. I'm here with Beth at Crowley House.
Hi.
She is a local flower grower here to the area. She does weddings, events.
Well, not events. We do classes on the farm.
Okay.
We
teaching people how to grow flowers.
Yeah, or just put flowers together. So.
Yeah, like make a beautiful, which she's going to teach us. So
yes, we're gonna do a little class.
Yeah. So I'll get some clips. Yeah. But if you want the full thing, you got to pay her.
Yeah. No.
But no.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Small farms, you know.
Small farms, but it's so beautiful what she's done here. They've lived here for 13 years.
Yeah.
And the story I got from their daughters, they rolled this house over on logs. Well, you didn't, but the people before you did, right? And put it here.
Yeah.
And redid it all, and
yeah.
Then you created the last 13 years this beautiful flower farm. But you got some big changes coming up.
I do. We're starting a little niche nursery and growing like cottage garden flowers.
Yeah. So you'll have to follow her channel, and it's really cute and fun and all flowers.
Yes, all flowers for the most part. Cooking a little bit, but.
And cooking, yeah, which she's a good cook, so you will want to see that.
You're too sweet.
Hey, I ate your food.
I know you did. I was like, hopefully she likes it, because I know you're a very good cook.
How do you know that?
You're just watching your channel. I've made a few things.
I've made a few things. Well, you flatter. All right, I better head this way because I'm not done. I'm running slow around here. It's been a few years. It's probably cool with that. And I cut long stems because
you just cut long stems.
Because I cut long stems.
No, it's good to have more to work with.
Okay.
So with your foliage, you want to, especially things like
rip the bottoms.
Yeah, so you don't want anything in the water.
I knew
it's
that.
like a murky, mess.
I was just going to do it when I got here.
So
And then I also was like, I don't know, feel like 3 bundles of this might be too little, and then I grabbed extra.
yeah, so what I like to do is
I grabbed these too.
Yeah, I like to have several different textures. And with Dusty Miller, especially this time of year, there's certain plants that haven't hardened off yet.
Yeah.
So they get a little wilty in the vase. So what we do is we quick dip it, and it's a chemical that we buy.
Is that what this is?
Yeah, and so I'll fresh cut. You have clippers?
Yeah.
Fresh cut the end
Alright.
with your handy dandy clippers, and then you just kind of quick dip it for literally a couple seconds in there, or I just kind of hold it and dunk it. And then when we're doing your vases, which we'll scoot those over for her, and you can do these. And I had these extra, so
Is that probably good?
yep. So like I kind of, for a farmer's market, I'll assembly line, so it's not like, oh, I've got a lot going on.
Okay. So organize.
A little bit. So just because you want to go kind of
I
fast.
didn't know if this one was way too open.
No, that's fine. For a farmer's market, it's okay.
Okay.
So if I'm cutting it down, I might just really quickly do that.
Do it again.
And a lot of times we're gonna do 3, like, I guess, I don't know, angled little pieces here.
Okay.
Like, almost like a teepee, a backwards teepee.
Okay.
Or upside down teepee, I should say. And with Dusty, because it is a little bit kind of fragile, I guess, this time of year. So that's kind of what I would start with. And then I would go in, say this is my other foliage that I want to use. I would go do the same thing, kind of follow that line, but like cut it down a little bit. And then,
You don't have to dip that
no.
because it's hardier.
You can tell by the stem.
The woodier,
Yeah, the woodier stem.
floppy stem gets the dip.
Yeah, there's certain, I mean, you just know over time what does. Like 9 bark would be the same thing.
Okay.
But see how I'm like doing this? Like
Yep.
1, 2,
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. And then,
You have a piece of tape or an X.
yeah, so I went ahead and taped them just because these wide mouths tend to be a little bit harder to design in. And so just for ease and to keep, when we're transporting, then they'll jostle around in the truck and you'll want them to just like have a little bit more
Okay.
stability. I add, like a piece of hosta, like just one piece of hosta, or go get a hukra, which has got that dark burgundy,
Yeah, that would be
depending
pretty.
on
What we got
what
going
you're
on.
doing. Yeah, what your color palette kind of turns out to be. So I like to have 3 different types of texture or green in each bouquet, and then a focal flower down low, a few spikes with, fillery. So it's pretty simple.
Are sweet peas considered spikes?
That's would be a fillery, kind of
Okay.
airy.
Okay.
And Riley always
These
says
would be spikes.
yes. Riley, or like the hukras are blooming right now, and so they've got these tall spikes, or she's got some nepeta. So
These ones.
yeah, like herby
okay. Yep.
pieces. So Riley would always say that you want to make it so that a butterfly can fly through your bouquet.
Okay.
So I think a lot of people
That's
feel
a
like
really
it's
good
Yeah.
tip.
compact.
Yeah.
And you don't see any movement. So that's what gets you that really pretty, airy, kind of garden style bouquet that we do.
Yeah.
But anyways,
A
just kind of
butterfly.
keep
That is a good
yeah,
tip. So I
just
feel like
have
I have a lot
butterfly
of,
fly
I need more
through.
butterfly things then.
You
Lighter.
might, and you can go ahead and start with like your focal, and then kind of move upward, and
Okay.
then as you like want, and I have like some,
Yeah, I knew you had the feverfew. I wanted some of that.
yeah,
Yeah, I
feverfew, and then there's the,
Like Nigella or
Nigella, yes. Those are all the airy kind of feels to them. So.
All right. Awesome. That's getting a
funny
little
movie.
crazy that it's not a butterfly can't fly through it. She might need to like spit it up. Okay, this one needs some more help. I feel like this is not.
Like building a nest, like a grid pattern for making rose bouquets. And all of everything was formulated. So the whole thing was just like, oh yeah. Okay, great, I like that. And I just need some.
Much nicer in here.
Good. Okay, I'm ready for your
critique. Oh, that looks really good. I might tuck these down just a little bit. A little bit more in, like you might cut an inch off. The only thing is they get a little like flippy
Okay.
over time at the market.
So cut them down a smidgen.
Esther, beautiful. Thank you.
Ours are very different. We both, you went cool, you did cool tones.
Well, so I did cool and I did a warm.
Oh, I did both warms, sort of. I thought I was going to do cool, but then it ended up both. I don't know what happened.
Beautiful, but that's how it works.
Exactly.
It is. This needs more help, so.
Yeah,
So, with the feverfew, I had some, and this looks, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's not super great feverfew. It's one we brought in. This is a tie at the bottom, and I gotta find scissors that actually work. So.
Okay.
And then I'll pop it in.
Okay.
So pretty.
That one is really pretty, Esther.
I love it. I love the blues, but I'm like,
fun.
I am gravitated towards blues and.
You are?
Yeah, I love the darker colors,
I
and I'll do pinks too.
And I have a lot of extra blooms over here, so you might.
And we can just stick them in a bucket, and sometimes if I need to make more at the market, I will.
Okay.
So I think there might be an extra little bucket over here.
that's awesome.
I appreciate you guys' help.
Yeah, you bet.
That would have taken a little while.
Well, we take a while.
Well, you did great, actually.
Well, thank you. We'll take the compliment.
You have experience, so.
Well, yeah, but you have way more variety than I ever did.
Yeah. And it's hard to know when to stop. I think
Yes.
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, like having a happy medium of how many to
Right.
just.
I feel like you always need way more, especially greenery, than you think you're gonna need.
Yeah, and then I'll watch a flower video from you, and I'm like, oh, I need that and that. I bet I could grow that. That looks like a cool flower. I think I can
Yeah.
grow that in the gold.
I think I could do it. I think I can.
Did it spill all over your table?
Yeah.
Do you have a rag? Wow, if this doesn't draw me in, I don't know what will.
Yeah. I know. I tend to. Well, I've learned, to have something that's more my style or look that, I can, like if somebody's like, hey, can you do a design for us? Then they'll be like, yes. So.
Yeah, because this is showing a little snippet of what you can do on a bigger scale.
Right. Exactly. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get these to fit in.
It's the grand finale.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that goes so good with the blue.
I don't know. Like, do I just do one? I might be able to fit one up here.
Do you use the lupin in your bouquets?
Do I? Yeah.
You do.
But like more of the expensive ones because they're expensive.
Yeah.
They're hard to grow. But
They are hard to grow?
They can be. They just take a long time and they need trellised and they're a little fussy.
Lupin needs trellis?
We will trellis our lupin.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They'll kind of do this like wonky little thing. They're like snapdragons. There you go. That's
It's
it.
beautiful.
Absolutely
Love it.
gorgeous.
So that's this week's bouquet.
I would totally hire you if I saw this.
Oh, thank you. I would appreciate the business.
Good morning, guys. It is the next day. Yesterday was full of adventure. You can tell I am so tired. But that's a good tired. It's been a week full of conversation and gardening and farming and driving all over and the Lord's grace. We had some crazy things happen yesterday. All is well. It's a little chilly this morning. It's 34. It's not bad. I just brought out my hanging baskets to warm up. I'm supposed to get some rain today. We're back at the farm, obviously. And I'm going to introduce you to my friend who drove all the way down here from northern Idaho, who I met last year at the conference, the Modern Homesteading Conference. And we have a very similar zone. We both do YouTube. We've kept in contact throughout the last year, but just to text here and there, follow each other's videos here and there. And then she asked to come down and do some videos here, and she was gonna go do some videos at some other places, and I was like, hey, are you going with anybody? Because I'll come with you. And I did. And we went to Kylie House Flower Farm and Farmhouse Teas, which neither of us filmed at. And I'm about to take her into my little garden because I think it would be a momentous occasion to have her plant something that I will be reminded of her throughout the growing season. I'll see her again in a few months. I'll be going up to her neck of the woods in Coeur d'Alene for the Modern Homestead event and be able to see her farm. But, yep, this was a very special time. The last 5 days have been lovely and busy and crazy. So I'll give you a quick recap. She got here Monday. We stayed up way too late yakking that night. We picked up Azure. Then we stayed up way too late. And then we got up and we were gardening. And by that time I was already exhausted. Should have known it was going to go way worse, exhaustion-wise. Then on the Wednesday, she got to milk my cow. And then we took off shortly after to go to Mountain Rose Herbs. And we stopped at Mountain Rose Herbs and they had like a little farm thing going on there. Then we went up to Crowley House Flower Farm. And we helped pick bouquets for some orders and hung out with Beth. I didn't film anything that night. She made us a lovely dinner. Nothing. We stayed there on the farm. I didn't film anything. Then next morning I filmed that whole piece of this video, and it was just lovely. Had a nice time. Then we left, went to farmhouse, and then we were coming back. So we did like a loop from Lapine. And if you're a local, so we went down from Lapine, we went to Eugene, up around Salem, back, hit Sisters. So it was like a loop within a couple days. And before we went, I had my car fixed at a local tire shop for shocks and struts because it had a squeak. And so I took it in. It was all fixed. Paid the big bucks. Went on our merry way. The whole trip, I'm like, that is weird. And I'd go around the curves and the traction light would come on and I could feel it weird. Or if I'd back up, the traction would come on and it was like, eh. And each day it got progressively worse. By the time we were coming up Santiam Pass, which is not, how do you put that? It is a massive mountain pass, so it is not a small potatoes drive, like scenic drive. It is a scenic drive. It is not like you need to be focused on the road. And so it's a mountain pass. So we were coming down up it and I was like, oh, so it's really loud. But sometimes you ever drive on a road that's really loud and it's not your car, it's the road. And then you get off on another road and it's not so loud. Well, that's what kept happening. I'm like, oh, it's just the road. Wasn't the road, guys. So we're coming down Santiam and I'm starting to get a little more worried. But mind you, we're on our way home. This is loud. This is not great. And so we're just like, okay, well, I know there's another one of these same tire shops that I went to before in Sisters. So if something's wrong, I can pull in. And I was telling Esther that. But I wasn't too crazy worried until we were about like 15 minutes outside of Sisters. And the car's like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like my wheels are about to fall off. I feel like my wheels are about to fall off. And at this point, I'm thinking, what is it? I'm like, and then at this point, I'm like, what do we do? What should we do, Esther? Should I keep going or go home and just be home? And she's like, you just need to ask the Lord. And so I did. And I just felt, and then like a couple minutes later, I was like, we got to pull in. We're going to pull into this tire shop up here and see what's going on. We get to the tire shop. I come in and there's this really kind lady and I'm talking to her and I was like, she's like, so what's the problem? And I was like, well, I think my wheels are about to fall off. And she looked at me like, like maybe that's a bit dramatic. So we wait there for like 30 minutes and a random guy comes in. He's putzing around the office and I was like, hey, have you heard anything about that little SUV out there? And he's like, and the look on his face was priceless. He's like, well, I didn't want to be the one to tell you this. But, yeah, your wheel bearing on your axle was, we don't know how you made it here. So my wheel was literally about to fall off and we went over 2 mountain passes, one on the way down, 58, Willamette Pass, and one on the way home, Santiam. So if you know Oregon, they're treacherous passes. And it's not bad on a beautiful sunny day or if your car's doing good. but if your car is about to have a wheel fall off, you don't want to trek over Sandy Am. And it was by the grace of God we pulled it and made it just fine. And they were like, they couldn't believe it. So it turns out it was the original tire shop's issue that they're working out with them. We didn't have to pay a thing. They fixed everything for us. They didn't even have the part in stock. They went and traveled to go get it. And also how God is just so gracious to me is in Sisters, my very dear friend lives there, Erica, and she was able to come get us, and we hung out at her place we went to a local coffee shop that I worked at, Sisters Coffee. That was lovely. And then Erica came and picked us up for like 3 hours, and so we hung out at her place, and it was lovely. So we made it home. They fixed it. We got it back, went to dinner, came home, and now it's this morning. So it was a lovely trip. Even the car, like, the Lord was gracious. So I'm gonna go get Esther, and we're gonna go to the little garden and plant something up, and I'll introduce you guys to her. So I think it is high time, you meet Esther, which you met her last summer.
Yeah.
I think you were on my video for a clip. I think so. This is Esther. She is Esther's Eden on YouTube and online. You can tell them about yourself.
So I'm a cold climate garden channel, and I teach people how to garden and do herb classes, and I make herbal products, all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm. And you YouTube.
And I YouTube, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So she's down here. This is her 5th day. She's about to head home, and we're gonna plant something. But first, I gotta show you my currant because it's awesome. Look at this puppy.
It's like absolutely loaded. It's gonna be an amazing year for this one.
So I do have something special in here. I have to find it. This is all my seeds that I've gathered in this basket that are what I need to plant out still.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter if it's in here.
Yeah.
Obviously these are not all gonna fit in here.
No.
It is for in here, the high tunnel. Okay, might need to shut that puppy down. I'm gonna have Esther plant these. She's over getting some. You ever watch YouTubers film? It's always interesting to me because you only see this side. You don't get to see that side. Oh, the piggies are.
I am here at Kylie's farm. She's a YouTuber. You guys met her at the conference. I'm wearing this coat. It's been cold. And
It's a balmy 34.
It's 34.
Oh no, it's been on manual focus. Wonder how long. Hopefully not very long.
Okay, so we're gonna head in. We're gonna have our last bit of enjoyment.
Yes.
Before you head off on your road trip. Trey joined the party. He's over here just on Esther's channel, but not on mine. You got nothing to say?
I'm enjoying my May Oregon morning.
Yeah, Trey has today off, so he's just like lavishing in the freedom.
That's nice.
Our one of our twins.
Yeah.
Since we've had him, basically, he'll go anytime he's got like a little bit of freedom. Mm-hmm. When we first got them, he'd run across the yard in the sprinkler and yell, "Freedom!" And it's like he still does it. Like school, like he finishes up his school, freedom. And then now, so it's something we do. Trey, when he's like off work, he'll call me, and if he's got like a long weekend, freedom.
That's funny. So I always yell freedom too, but it's from that movie with McSquizzy. And yeah.
Who's McSquizzy?
McSquizzy off of, what's that called? Open Season. And he's riding a squirrel. The squirrel's riding the dog.
Open Season. Do you think Zay gets it from that?
It's a cartoon.
I don't know.
He came with it, and he was 4.
He
Hilarious.
could have.
Yep. To we yell freedom.
That's hysterical.
Scottish squirrel.
So we're gonna enjoy our freedom, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
You gotta be like that guy, that dad who always just finishes his coffee and says one thing and then
Thank you.
that's what you need. Yeah.